to engage.
All right, everybody, welcome to Rockstar Alfie's YouTube channel. Again, I'm Naisou, joined here with me on the desk is Mirko. And of course, we're here with Rockstar Alfie.
Nice to have you guys here. Yeah.
Thanks for having us. I guess this is the takeover, man. We're taking over your channel here with this. And so we've got a couple questions for you. First and foremost, I'll go ahead and just start it off. Tell us about yourself, Alfie.
Okay. My name is Rockstar Alfie, in-game name, and I play for Team Nigeria, Roma for my team. I hail from Ebonyi State, Nigeria, and yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Nice to meet you, Rockstar Alfie. I think we've already met, before, so we already know each other. But what we don't know about each other is, I feel like, for you guys, how long have you been playing the game, right? MLBB.
About, should I say 4 years ago? But I actually got into the professional scene in Nigeria about 3 years ago. Yeah, so been playing tournaments and trying to be consistent with the game and everything, and improving by watching top athletes play in MPL ID, MPL Philippines.
How does it look like, right? Like in Nigeria, how do people become pro players? Like they play a year, they become really good. Is there a scouting system there in Nigeria, or do you just apply for teams?
Yeah, different squads vary. Take for example now, squad A might decide that okay, you need a certain amount of stars, a certain amount of win rates on a certain hero, or like maybe your favorite heroes. You have to have let's say 60% win rate for you to join their squad. And when you join the squad, you just don't relax. You have to scream as well to make sure that you actually give the squad what they actually want. So once you're into the squad, you can now participate in tournaments with other top squads in the country. Yeah.
So is it normal, like if you get with a squad, do you guys call them squads or teams? Like squads. Yeah. So if you're on a squad, do you go from squad to squad quite often, or do you stay with one squad mostly?
There are many players who might not, find it comfortable with staying in one squad. Maybe they don't see or get what they actually want. You understand? They might decide to switch. But I myself, I've been to 3 squads. First squad was SSQ. And we actually won Road to Bali 2022, but we couldn't travel to Indonesia because of visa issues. So eventually I left the team and joined Alpha Zeros, and I was in the squad for about a year. We were winning tournaments, back to back. Same thing with SSQ, and I eventually left Alpha Zeros because of some issues, and I joined Oasis. Oasis is more of like the reincarnation of SSQ.
Review, basically. So I guess now we can ask, since you brought it up, you talked about Bali. Mirko was involved with ISF Bali. Let's talk about ISF. Let's focus here on specifically this tournament. I know at this point of the recording, we've wrapped it up. AEC, the first one here for Africa. So off the bat, let's go ahead and start with that. What place did Nigeria get for ISF AEC this time around? And not only what place, but were you happy with the placement?
Well, we got the top 5. We are the 5th position out of 8 teams. And I wasn't happy at all. None of my teammates were happy at all, because we know we could have finished much higher, if not top 3, something in between top 2, something like that, because we actually practiced a lot, and we knew that we could get really, really far in this African Esports Championship. But something happened along the way when it just happened on a Thursday morning. That was on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken, and we had an EXP laner, Crests. So we are like 6 registered players, right from the online qualifiers. So we have a sub gold laner, and the main roster, the roam, myself, a jungler, you get the drift. So the EXP laner on the 15th, just a day, or should I say a few hours to us traveling for the offline qualifiers, told us that he might not make it. It was looking like a joke, at first. First he was like, he has some issues with his mom, his mom has some issues, and he had to rush her to the hospital. And we're like, okay, cool, she's in safe hands, she's in the hospital, and there are a couple of nurses and the doctor will actually look after her and everything. So we're and he actually assured us that he had already booked his flight, from his state actually. He stays in Port Harcourt actually. Rivers, it's a state in Nigeria. So he told us that that we should not worry, that he already booked his flight. So we are expecting him to come to Lagos. It's Lagos that we are going to move from
one area to the next.
The airport to Morocco. Yeah. So that was what we were hoping. And later in the morning, he now came online and told us that sorry, he can't make it at all because his mom's health was kind of not too good and everything. But we were very confused. We were asking him don't you have a dad? Don't you have siblings like your brother or sister that could just look after her, or relatives, friends that could just assist and everything? Because we know that even if you're there, your main job or stuff that you're going to be doing maybe is to be getting food for her at the hospital and everything, but the nurses are going to take care of everything because that's what nurses are actually paid for, to look after and their patients and everything. But he was still insisting. We kept on calling him, trying to make him understand how huge this is to us, because it's actually bigger than myself, it's bigger than every person in the team. Because if we actually go very far in this competition, we are going to attract lots of sponsors. Moonton is going to actually look into our region, and the region is going to definitely get better and everything. Just imagine if you actually got top 3 or even top 2, because that was the focus. We will have gone to Saudi, and it's going to make the world look into our region and everything. But he didn't look at the bigger picture and everything. So we kept trying to contact him. He switched off his phone, and we just had to
switch things up.
Switch things up, because maybe it's in CS:GO or something. They actually missed a couple of games, and a staff from IES actually had to warn one of our delegates that, look, if we actually forfeit or miss any game at all, that we are going to get banned. And us getting banned, it's not just going to affect us, it's going to affect the whole game titles. Both the PUBG guys are going to be cancelled. The eFootball guy that's already qualified straight to Saudi is going to be cancelled and everything. So we just have to take things very, very seriously. That's why we just were okay, we have no choice. We just have to just work with the marksman.
Just make it work, basically.
Yeah, with the gold laner that we have. So that was just how the gold laner now got into the lineup. Because if we had the original lineup with our EXP laner, I'm very, very sure, I'm 90% sure that we will have at least gotten top 3, if not top 2. Because if you looked at the game with Morocco, the first game, it was very, very, very close. It was about 10-7, the scoreline 10-7, and we are actually playing a gold laner in the EXP. Imagine if we actually played the main EXP guy and everything, and we actually won the game 1. The momentum is going to definitely be with us.
It felt like the change kind of affected your placement.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
Right. So regardless, I think you said it already. If you had your XP, things would have been different. You would have been at least top 3, right?
Yes.
Well, since unfortunately that didn't happen, we didn't get to see the top 3 finish for Nigeria, and I'm pretty sad about that too. I was rooting for you guys too. I have a question though. At this point, you were talking about how this is bigger than all of you, right? About sending a message to Moonton also, basically, because if you got top 3, maybe they would look into your region. So I guess another way we can do it is here in the interview, right?
Yeah.
We use this interview to reach out to Moonton. So if you had the chance, and I would say the chance is right now, to reach out to Moonton, to ask them for a request, what would it be?
The number one priority is this. I'm going to make a formal request asking Munton to actually expand our server, because currently on our server we only have Nigerians, playing. Other regions like the South African region, the North African region, they have many countries, and even this Northern African region, like I've played a couple of ranked games here, and I've also matched with countries like in the EU as well, not just Northern Africa, but back in Nigeria, you can only be matched up with Nigerian players, not Ghanaian players. Not like it's not.
So it's like a server thing.
Yeah, it's just one country, instead of like us having the Ghanaians, like the Cameroon people, Senegal. Yeah, so it's just the Nigerian players that are playing against Nigerians, which is very, 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 very like kind of bad and awkward. So, but if we actually have other countries, if you can play against other countries, like it will actually like really help us, in our play style, in our macro and micro, like we'll get better and everything. So
that's request one.
Yeah, that's like request
server.
One. Yeah, it's very, very important. Like if they can expatiate, our reach and everything to bring more countries into our server, it will be very, very much appreciated. So yeah, and the second one is if they can actually like help out with tournaments, like even if it's just one tournament, per year, like we'll be very, very, very grateful.
Okay, well, I think those are reasonable. As servers, we don't really know how they come up with like servers and stuff, but I think obviously support, like tournament wise, is something that all developing regions like an MLBB want. I mean, we saw this really with NACT before. They were a region that didn't have official support from Muntan, and everything that they have now is from them creating their own tournaments. Like there was a time when it was actually casters that were creating tournaments and leagues, and they proved to Muntan that there's this interest here, and then it eventually developed into something. So maybe that we can connect that to the next question is, knowing what you know now, knowing what you've experienced here, and even some of the information that you've got, what would be your future plans? Maybe just for you personally or for the team, or what you can do for basically Nigeria's esports situation for MLBB?
Well, my future plans personally, I actually want to be an artist. I've written a couple of songs, over 60 songs. So, but MLBB wise, I'm actually, hoping that, maybe the next IESF, if I'm able to compete or anyone else is able to compete, you understand, like we actually go far. And Munton actually, like not just Munton, the world actually recognizes Nigeria as a very, very strong region. Who knows, probably M7 we might be invited, even if it's the M7 wildcard, it's going to be, or MSC wildcard. It's going to be very, very awesome and a very huge boost to our region. Yeah.
Well, speaking of different regions, obviously you guys take a lot of inspiration from other regions. I think you said you're fans of the Philippines, right? Yes. MPLPH. Our cameraman is a fan of RRQ.
Indo.
Right, of Indo. So what's your favorite region? What's your favorite team? Tell us why.
Okay, my favorite region is the Philippines. And
Indo, bro?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to break your heart, Mirko. I'm sorry to break your heart.
Pinas lang Malakas.
Yeah, Filipinas lang Malakas. So my favorite team is Falcons AP brand. I've been following them right from the M2, and it was Heartbreak. M3 it was Blacklist. M4 it was Echo. M5 they came back strong, and won it. And like ever since then they've been like dominating, winning the games of the future. MSC we couldn't like do well. At least we finished second. But the Indonesian teams couldn't scale through the group stage.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, Mirko. I'm very sorry.
That's why this season Bigatron RQ.
Okay.
It's all right. Bigatron
Yes,
now.
Okay, it's all good. It's all good. So I'm just a fan of Falcons AP band because they are very, very consistent. They've been building this bond, right from M2, and even though there were like little changes and everything, but they still kept to their strategy, their play style, and they are just consistent. So yeah.
And I guess to wrap things up, Rockstar Alfie, is there anything lastly to close us out that you would want to say maybe to some of the viewers that will be seeing this? Doesn't have to be just them or Moonton or anything, but like any last things you want to kind of say as now AEC is over before we kind of close this video out?
Okay, I just want to say this quickly. When I was a kid, okay, I have 5 sisters. I'm the only guy in the family, so at a stage, I think when I was like maybe 5, 6 years, my dad actually bought video games for me, like video consoles. It was like from family game to Sega to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, because girls like doing girl things, and I was like most of the time alone. And so he actually thought, the gaming stuff is going to actually make me feel, much more at home. I won't get bored and everything. So I actually grew up with games. So at some point in my life, like some people are like, okay, why are you playing games? Like even though it's a kind of like hobby for me, because like I do other stuff. I'm a content creator on YouTube. I also work at the international airports back in Ebonyi State as well. I also trade forex. There are many things that I do, but I love video games. It's like a serious passion for me. So there are times where people like, you're just wasting your time playing video games. It's not going to get you anywhere and everything. But look at me, I'm live in Morocco. I'm in Casablanca, Morocco. So don't just let anybody talk you down. If you have a passion, just go for it, because one day the light is going to like shine on you, and those people that have been like talking trash about you are going to like, wow, so this could really happen and everything. So yeah, that's just it. Just pursue your dreams.
All right, that's Rockstar Alfie again. Thank you so much for joining us, actually for letting us take over your channel, I guess you could say. Mirko, any last things before we wrap it up?
No, just subscribe, all right? Subscribe, comment Bigatron's better than Falcons AB Bren. Facts.
I don't know about that.
Facts. I said, cameraman says RQ's better. I'll take that. KesQ's really good.
Well, for me, don't forget to subscribe, guys, and leave a like. Comment down below, too. What your guys' thoughts on about all this, again, with Team Nigeria, of course, Rockstar Alfie here, too. Check out some of his content. We actually saw some of the content, too, made when we were going through the online qualifiers. We appreciate that, too. And, again, thanks for letting us take over your channel, at least for this video. And we wish you all the best of luck. After this, I know we're all going home pretty much tomorrow, so good luck. And I really do hope, I know Mirko feels the same way, we get to see you guys next year for AEC as well.
Hopefully. Yeah.
All right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Mirko. I appreciate
Thank you, man.
it. God bless.